Today I thought I'd show you around a local tackle shop in Thailand, give you an idea of the sort of things you can buy here in Thailand and the sort of things you might want to bring with you when you come fishing in Thailand. I'll include the address and the location of this shop in the video description if you are interested in coming to this shop. But don't think that this shop is special, there's many shops just like this all over Thailand. If you're looking for a local fishing tackle shop when you're in Thailand, get somebody to type into Google Maps Dok Bla in the Thai language, and that should pull up all the local fishing tackle shops. It could even pull up a few of the local lakes as well. They sell a selection of nets, landing nets and keep nets. Nothing super strong, you're not going to be able to use this stuff at Bung Samran, but for smaller fish it's not a problem. This rack here is just full of feeders. Loads and loads of choice of feeders in Thailand. We've got some floats here, the big foam floats. Some of the feeders that you see here are already made up with hooks or several hooks already attached to them. I generally don't trust the hooks that they put on it or the line that they use. I prefer to buy feeders that I make up myself. Then we get down here to the lead weights. Most of the lead weights that you'll find in Thailand are the inline style of lead weight. This shop has them going up to about 4 ounces. Waggler fishing in Thailand is quite popular, but the floats that they have here are really fine and delicate, normally used for fishing for tilapia. If you enjoy fishing the waggler, it might be a good idea to bring some decent waggler floats with you. In these jars, we've got even more feeders, different types. And in that last jar there, you'll see loads of beads, plastic beads, different sizes. Lure fishing in Thailand is very popular. Half of this shop is taken up for lures. On this rack here, we've got the shrimp lures that they use for fishing for squid. Moving down, we've got some braids, a good selection of braids. And down here, we've got the flavors that you'll see people mixing into the bread and the ram. Popular flavors are sort of the green one, the pandan. There's the red one, the strawberry. There's banana. There's cream. If I'm buying braid in Thailand, I'll generally go with the Ryoko braid. Ryoko is a local brand in Thailand sold out of the Tri tackle shop over by the Suvarnabhumi airport. I'll put the information for the Tri fishing tackle shop in the video description. They sell some good braids at Ryoko. They also do the only sinking braid that I know of in Thailand. Most of the guys I fish with use the Ryoko SKR rods at Bung Samran. It's a good priced rod that's strong enough to be able to fight the Mekong. I'll probably do a video from the Ryoko shop in a few weeks' time. Half of this shop is taken up for lure fishermen. This rack is some of the soft plastic lures they've got. And now we get over to the baits. You can buy lots of different types of bread in Thailand for baits. They come in pre-packed bags with strawberry, banana flavors. They're about 25-30 baht per bag. We've got some fish meal here if you want to use some fish meal. This is a big bag of ram. 50 baht for this big bag of ram. Here's all the breads, the different flavors. Normally this shop has big bags of plain bread that's been ground up for 50 baht as well, but today they've been sold out. All across the top of this wall is more lures. You can see here in the middle of the shop we've got an absolute forest of rods. Rods vary massively in price and quality. For most Thai fishing tackle shops, you can buy a rod for 1,000 baht, or even cheaper, that will do most fish. But if you're looking to go somewhere like Bung Samran, you really need a higher quality, a stronger rod. For a rod that's going to be able to cope with Bung Samran, I'd suggest you go over to the Ryoko shop, the Tri fishing tackle shop. Good selection of reels, but nothing really high-end here. If you're looking for something high-end, you're better off bringing it with you. When traveling to Thailand to do some fishing, you probably don't want to bring the rods with you. It can be difficult to transport the rods around. But bring in your reels, good quality reels loaded with fresh, good quality braid. That would be a good option. You can then rent the equipment that they have to offer at the lake. Just use their rod and you know that the reels are good quality and the braid's good quality. I load the reels with 80-pound braid for places like Bung Samran, Palm Tree Lagoon. Hook sizes in Thailand are different to Europe. I'll put another little bit at the end of this video to cover the hook sizes. When it comes to hook brands, Gamakatsu is one of the best ones here. I'd also recommend Fudd. Never really had a problem with Fudd, F-U-D-D. Down here we've got the nylon shock leaders. For places like Bung Sam Ran, I'm normally using around an 80 to 120 pound shock leader. Out of the two hooks, I'd go with Gamakatsu over Fud. You're not going to be able to get barbless hooks in Thailand. The only hooks I've ever been able to find are barbed, but you can just pinch the barbs down easy enough. This rack's got some of the smaller hooks, the other hook brands like the mustard hooks, some of the Chinese hooks. They're okay for small fish, but I wouldn't be trusting those hooks at places like Palm Tree Lagoon or Bung Sam Ran. Now that we've finished walking around the fishing tackle shop, I'll show you some of the tackle a little bit closer up. I've laid out the hook sizes here from 8 to 19 along a rule so you can get an idea of how big they are. I haven't got the same brand to do all the hooks, so I've used mostly Gamakatsu and Fud, one pack of mustard for size 11. Most of the hooks are 60, 65 baht a pack. Some of the smaller hooks could be 30, 40 baht. A quick look at some of the feeders I've got in my tackle box now. I'll generally try and use feeders where the main line goes straight through the middle. It's just less knots, less opportunities for things to go wrong. I wouldn't recommend this type of feeder. It's got a wire that goes through the middle. If you hook into something decent, that wire breaks or straightens out and you're just left with no fish. This feeder's got a foam center. Basically the idea is it sinks through the water much slower, so the fish have got more opportunity to hit it on the drop. And then if you've got a lake with a really silty bottom, when it hits the bottom, it will hopefully sit on the top of that silt. These are the foam floats, varying in size, or depending on the weight of the feeder and the type of bait you're using. Bung Sam Ran, generally go with the biggest float, biggest feeder I've got. This float's a little bit interesting. It looks like a normal foam float, but it unscrews from the center. And in the center there, you can put 2 watch batteries. Sticking out the top of the float is a little LED. And you can use these for night fishing. These are some of the waggler floats I've brought in Thailand. They're generally quite fine and quite delicate for tilapia fishing, but they work just fine. Remember, if you are going to buy the waggler floats in Thailand, you probably need to buy the little rubber stoppers that go on the end. You can see here in the photo. Without those rubber stoppers, you can't attach your line. They just push onto the end of the float and it gives you the hook for your line to go through. If you're interested in checking out some other YouTube channels about fishing in Thailand, check out The Overrated Angler on YouTube. Got plenty of good videos all about fishing around Thailand. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the walk around the shop and a look at some of the gear that you can buy here in Thailand in a little bit more detail. As always, please like and subscribe. Catch you soon.